So welcome to another edition of Steve's Basement. And in this edition, this is going to be a very special edition. For my plan for this episode is to build a computer for my mom for Christmas. So Mom, this is my Christmas YouTube video for you, a special edition of Steve's Basement, in which I build you a computer from all the spare parts I've got in my basement. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll show you the choices I have to put your computer together. There are extensive choices actually, from AMD motherboards, Intel motherboards. I've got a choice of 5 different cases, power supplies, and other assorted odds and ends that I can easily put together a pretty beefy system that you'll probably suit you for now until any time in the predictable future. So, I know that the computer you've got now is a Dell. It's a small one. It's making a lot of noise. So I'm going to pay attention to the quietness of this particular PC that I'm going to put together for you. And it will require a trip to Micro Center. So all you Steve Basement viewers will have a chance to see me go off to Micro Center and buy a couple of items that I'm going to get there. In particular, I've got my eye on some fan controllers, because that's the key. You want a quiet PC, you need some fan controllers to reduce the speed of the fans. Those are the ones that make all the noise. Of course, you've got to be careful not to burn up your computer when you turn down the fans, but I think in general we'll be okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a video card, which is a fanless video card with a big heatsink on it. And that should also reduce quite a bit the noise. Okay, so this is the end of my intro, and the next step is I'll show you the various items here in my basement, which we can choose from to build your computer, Mom. Okay, here we go. Okay, Mom, well, so here's the basement, as you've known, and here is the selection of computer cases that I can choose from in order to build your PC. As you notice, I have 4 there and 1 here. I'm thinking actually of using this one. It's a nice small computer case, and all I have to do is dust it off. It's black, and put a power supply in, or it might already have a power supply in there. These other ones are from way back when. They're too big. The other one that I could possibly give you is this one over here, and again, it's a question of just dusting off the casing. There's a lot of dust and grime, but that's okay. I'll clean it off, so you won't have to be doing the cleaning off when you get it. As far as motherboards go, if I go over here, this is my motherboard area. I'm thinking I might give you this one over here. This one is an Intel motherboard with a very fairly beefy Intel CPU. I'm sure it's a Core 2 class Intel CPU. The only thing is I can't remember exactly what it is. I tried to install Linux on this motherboard a long time ago, and I ran into issues with the USB startup sequence. So when it booted up, it would either boot up into USB 1.0 or USB 2.0 or something like that, and then the mouse would stop working, and I couldn't communicate through it over the mouse, and then the kernel would time out looking for the mouse and the keyboard because it couldn't find it, and it was a real disaster. And the whole boot up disaster sequence started when I decided to upgrade the BIOS. So I upgraded the BIOS on this thing, and then I ran into all those issues of the USB controller stuff, the USB controller versioning. but there it is. You've got plenty of ports. You can see you have the audio jacks, you got an Ethernet and Boku USB ports and so on. Anyway, so that is one possibility of a motherboard, which will probably be the one I give you. Over here, I've got, let's see, I've got this guy. So this is another one I can possibly give you. I'm not sure what the genesis of this motherboard is. And then I've got this guy. Again, I'm not sure what the genesis is. It looks like this one's going to need a heat sink. This one will probably need a heat sink. But it might be an, I'm not, who knows what it is. Well, so that's another motherboard. I've got another motherboard here. I believe this is an AMD motherboard. This is from my old servers. This is the AMD motherboard from the server that I did in my for my server upgrade from back during Thanksgiving. Here's another motherboard. Same motherboard from my secondary backup server. So we got that guy. Okay, also AMD. We've got another motherboard. Wait, let's just get rid of these disk drives over here. Here's another motherboard over here. God knows what this thing's all about. It's got a pretty hefty heat sink for the. There's a fairly hefty heat sink on this one. So that's yet another motherboard. Okay, that I've got sitting around. And then I've got one over here. This one has some nice looking heat sinks on it. And I'm not sure what the genesis of this one is. Right? Here. And let's see, do I have any more? I think that's it. So we've got a choice of that motherboard, this one over here, this one over here, these two AMD guys, right? But I think the one I'm going to give you is this one. Because I know it's fairly recent. It's not more than a year old. And I know it's got a fairly good Intel processor on it. So anyway, so like I said, Boku components to build a PC. And then as far as, let's see what we got. Power supplies. There's one power supply right there. I've got another power supply dangling over here. This noisemaker one. It's supposed to be a quiet power supply. And there's another power supply right here. Right? I don't know if you got that. And another power supply there. And we've got oodles of disk space. So we've got 3 disks here. They're probably several hundred megabytes. Or gigabytes, several hundred gigabytes. And there's another set of disks back there. So, and then we've got those disks over there. And then we got these disks up here. So we got plenty of disks. Okay, so as you can see, there's plenty of stuff for your mom to build you a PC. So now the next thing I need to do is I'm actually going to assemble the actual components themselves, and then take a quick trip off to Micro Center and get you that fan controller, so that we can keep your PC nice and quiet. Okay.